Part 5.21. The Table, Al-Maida. Kanzul Iman, Quran. The Table, 5280. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Sufi Essence with Hammad Syed. Dear viewers, our profound and scholarly journey through the divine verses of Surah Al-Maida continues as we now turn to a segment of the Quran that is as deeply theological as it is sociologically insightful. In our last discourse, we explored the sobering verdict of a divine curse, a consequence for persistent rebellion and the grave failure to uphold the sacred duty of enjoining good and forbidding evil. Today we delve into a powerful distinction drawn by Allah between different groups among the people of the book. The verses we will analyze: Kanzul Iman, Quran. The Table 5-82, Kanzul Iman, Quran. The Table 5-82 are not merely historical accounts of past alliances. They are a timeless and profound lesson on the spiritual nature of a person's loyalties and the divine judgment upon those who choose to align themselves with falsehood. These verses are a testament to the absolute sovereignty of Allah and the spiritual bankruptcy of those who choose to deny His signs, yet they also reveal a beautiful and tender recognition of sincerity wherever it is found. We will meticulously unpack these verses, drawing on the deepest wells of Sufi wisdom and unparalleled scholarly commentary to deliver a comprehensive PhD-level understanding of this unique and pivotal passage of divine revelation. Verses 5-80, 5-82. Spiritual alliances and the proximity of hearts. The verses that form the core of our discussion today are as follows. Kanzul Iman, Quran. The Table 5-80. You see many of them allying themselves with those who disbelieved. How wretched is that which their souls have put forth for them, that Allah has become angry with them, and in the punishment they will abide eternally. Kanzul Iman, Quran. The Table 5-81. And if they had believed in Allah and the Prophet and what was revealed to him, they would not have taken them as allies. But many of them are defiantly disobedient. Quran. The Table 5-82. You will surely find the most intense of the people in enmity toward the believers to be the Jews, and those who associate others with Allah and you will surely find the nearest of them in affection to the believers to be those who say, "We are Christians." That is because among them are priests and monks, and because they are not arrogant. These verses deliver a powerful and uncompromising message about the nature of a person's alliances. The discourse begins with a powerful condemnation of a specific group of people of the book, stating you see many of them allying themselves with those who disbelieved. This phrase is a severe divine indictment, revealing a profound spiritual sickness where a person's loyalties are misaligned with their faith. The verses then go on to provide a clear and unambiguous explanation. And if they had believed in Allah and the Prophet and what was revealed to him, they would not have taken them as allies. This statement establishes the core spiritual principle that true faith is inseparable from a person's alliances. One's loyalty to Allah and His Messenger must transcend all other bonds. The discourse reaches its spiritual and theological climax in verse 5-82, which distinguishes between the hearts of different groups. It describes a particular group of people of the book as having a great enmity towards the believers, yet it then makes a beautiful and profound distinction, stating, "And you will surely find the nearest of them in affection to the believers to be those who say, 'We are Christians.'" This unprecedented distinction is given a spiritual and theological explanation. That is because among them are priests and monks, and because they are not arrogant. This is a profound testament to the truth that the heart, when purged of arrogance, naturally inclines towards truth, sincerity, and divine light. Context of revelation. The principle of sincere affection. The historical and theological context of these verses is of paramount importance. These verses were revealed during a time of great political and social tension in Medina. The community of believers was surrounded by various groups, some of whom were actively hostile. The alliance of a group of Jews with the pagan Arabs of Mecca was a clear betrayal and a demonstration of spiritual disloyalty. These verses condemn this behavior in the strongest possible terms, making it clear that such an alliance is a direct result of spiritual sickness. The divine anger mentioned in verse 5-80 is a consequence of their hearts being so consumed by rebellion that they would align with those who seek to destroy the truth. However, the revelation does not generalize. It makes a beautiful and profound distinction, a testament to the divine justice of Allah, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. The verses then pivot to describe the sincerity and lack of arrogance found among the Christian priests and monks. This is not a blanket statement about all Christians, but a specific reference to those who, through their dedication to a spiritual path, possess a softness of heart that makes them receptive to truth. This distinction is a cornerstone of the Quranic understanding of hub divine love and Ikhwan's spiritual brotherhood, revealing that hearts that are spiritually purified will naturally be drawn to each other, regardless of their outward religious affiliation. Sufi perspective. The alchemy of the heart. From a Sufi perspective, these verses provide a profound lesson on the spiritual reality of hub divine love and Ikhwan's spiritual brotherhood. The Sufi understands that the heart, when purged of spiritual diseases, becomes a mirror of the divine. The divine verdict on the alliances of some of the Jews is a direct reflection of a spiritual disease. The love of this world and the rejection of divine light, spiritual malady, led them to seek out alliances with those who were in a similar state of spiritual darkness. The Sufi understands that one's company is a direct reflection of one's spiritual state. The person who is sincere and pure in heart will naturally seek the company of other sincere and pure hearts. The divine recognition of the Christian priests and monks as being nearest in affection to the believers is a profound testament to the Sufi path. The verses explicitly state that this is because among them are priests and monks, and because they are not arrogant. The Sufi understands that pride, kibr, and arrogance, istikbar, are the greatest veils between the servant and the Lord. They are spiritual cancers that prevent the heart from receiving divine light. The humility and sincerity of the priests and monks, their dedication to asceticism and a spiritual life, cultivated a softness of heart, rikot al-kalb, that made them receptive to the message of truth brought by the Prophet, peace be upon him. The heart, when it is not arrogant, naturally recognizes the truth, even if it is presented in a different form. The verses, therefore, are a powerful reminder that spiritual alliances are forged not through political convenience, but through the purity of the heart. The spiritual brotherhood of those who are on the path of truth transcends all geographical, political, and even religious boundaries. Commentary from Ziya-ul-Quran. The scholarly analysis of interfaith relations. The Ziya-ul-Quran commentary on these verses provides a penetrating and scholarly analysis that illuminates the historical and theological weight of this divine verdict. The commentator explains that the condemnation in verse 5 to 80 refers to the Jews of Medina who, despite having been warned by the Prophet, peace be upon him, and witnessing his signs, chose to align themselves with the disbelievers of Mecca against the believers. This was not a passive act, but an act of alliance, born of malice and spiritual bankruptcy. The commentary highlights the powerful phrase, "How wretched is that which their souls have put forth for them," as a testament to the fact that their hearts had become so corrupted that they considered such a heinous act to be a viable option. It was a reflection of their deep-seated enmity towards the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his message. The Ziya-ul-Quran commentary also provides a rich and nuanced explanation of verse 5 to 82. It clarifies that this verse is not a blanket approval of all Christians, but a specific and beautiful observation about a particular group among them. The commentator explains that the priests and monks were known for their humility, asceticism, and sincere devotion. They were not driven by worldly desires or political power, but by a genuine quest for truth. Their spiritual state made them receptive to the message of the Prophet, peace be upon him. The commentary explains that this verse serves as a reminder to the believers that sincerity and humility are qualities that are recognized and cherished by Allah regardless of a person's background. It is a powerful lesson in spiritual discernment, teaching the believers to look beyond outward appearances and to recognize the divine light in the hearts of others. Hadith with reference, the sincerity of hearts and the nature of faith. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught extensively on the divine truth of the laws of Allah and the spiritual wisdom that underpins them, providing a perfect framework for understanding these verses. A profound hadith from Sunan al-Tirmidhi, hadith number 2516, provides a poignant commentary on the consequences of spiritual negligence. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught, "Allah has placed his mercy in the heart of the merciful person. Have mercy on those on earth and the one in the heavens will have mercy on you. This hadith beautifully links the spiritual state of a person with their ultimate fate. It shows that a person who is in a state of spiritual negligence will have a heart that is veiled from the divine light. The hadith serves as a powerful reminder that the laws of Allah are not arbitrary, but are a manifestation of His perfect and absolute knowledge. Another hadith, from Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 521, provides a clear and unambiguous statement about the nature of a person's heart. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught, "The heart is the source of all good and evil. If the heart is good, all the deeds are good. If the heart is corrupt, all the deeds are corrupt. The heart is the source of all good and evil." This hadith beautifully links the spiritual state of a person with their ultimate fate. It shows that a person who is in a state of spiritual negligence will have a heart that is veiled from the divine light. The hadith serves as a powerful reminder that the laws of Allah are not arbitrary, but are a manifestation of His perfect and absolute knowledge. May Allah illuminate your heart and mind with the light of this divine ilm. May He make your channel a beacon of guidance for all who seek spiritual clarity and truth. May your efforts be a source of immense reward, and may you be granted the highest stations of paradise. May the peace and blessings of Allah always be upon you and your loved ones. May He grant you unwavering steadfastness on the path of truth, and may your work be a testament to His magnificent names, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim.